ngishaye usuku bonke angenze njani baby girl njengengoma ngishaye usuku bonke angenze njani engithi baby angenze njani engithi sithandwa angenze njani engithi mama angenze njani
Guys, and welcome to the Creative Corner. Apho sibakhona nani every Tuesday, and we bring you indaba right as sharp as mnandi. Igama Noluthando Nondalana, and ndiyami ndedwa ke with one of our own, the co-owner of Share Online. Banza, how are you?
Except Fethu, Shafere.
Simnandi si sharp si right. It's called Johannesburg. Ufila kanjani namhlanje?
You know what? Actually, it's not cold, ne?
Okay.
But I understand I might be contradicting my statement because I'm going jacket.
Yeah.
But honestly speaking, like band, it's just that I'm indoors and I was, in fact, ngivule window so that I can hear the sound of the rain.
Okay.
So it's a bit chill, but it's not cold. No, let's not.
Okay, and maybe not because I'm bang, ne?
Yeah.
Hence, I'm saying band.
Yeah.
But it's all good, guys. Sinivulele ngaphandle kwakho. Featuring Kuli Sings, Mfundo and Humble Mos, Rafike Rhythms, Eamba Nonguli Sings, Mfundo, Humble Mos, be sitting ngaphandle kwakho. It's such a good song, guys. Jivile Kwamnanda per studio. Ningalibali ke wherever you are watching us from, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Whether it's TikTok, where igama lethu singu-Share Online, and then Facebook, it's also Share Online, and also again go YouTube, it's Share Online. Singayanga kudeke, guys, we've got ads zethu where we're running a special zethu. If you want to be listed 5 times on different shows, it's only 100 rand. All you need to do is to go on ads at shareonline.co.za or contact us on 078 2810 681. Ixesha ngoko at 2:20 p.m. Into esawunenza yona namhlanje, guys, you will walk away with information about podcasting, bungayiqala njani, and how to maintain i-podcasting yakho and platforms apho uzawuposta khona. Banza,
That's it.
can you quickly tell us uba wena, what do you do at a station, umsebenzi wakho,
Yo.
and
I pay
everything
the
else?
bills.
Okay, not that one.
Okay, not that one. Okay.
Yeah, where you hands.
Okay, so I've got a creative, technical background, né?
Okay.
Because as far as creativity goes, there is that technical aspect as a mover, right? So I've always been that guy. So I look after all the technicals. I make sure that we are online. Yonke le nto lena. And yeah, that's what I do. What do you do here?
I make sure the bills are paid. Well, so what? Okay, mna kakhle. I would say I handle the talent side of things. It's your
And it's a beautiful combination, right?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful combination. Ngoba I think omunye nomunye is playing in Dimayake.
Yeah.
And as a result, we can see the synergy that comes together to execute on this, you know?
And uzukhumbule into yokuba we might have a technical guy, but what are we feeding online?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like this can get in right? But some things take time to develop.
Okay.
But Makambiskati, you start thinking about, you know, are you delivering the best content? That's because you would have handled the nitty-gritties
Yep.
on the bottom, yabo. So behind the scenes, everything is done. So now you start thinking, okay, am I feeding my viewers the right content, etc., etc. So, but I'm sure we'll unpack more of that. But yeah, in a nutshell, I look after all of the technical stuff. But slowly but surely also imparting the knowledge onto others.
So, okay, guys, Nyamvubanele Oti, he's responsible in get technicals as there too. So, if you hear anything wrong, a sound or get visuals, the shows is there to make sure that uthetha naye not nam ungathi sister Knowles into ethile. I know nothing about that. Ngubanele wazi lukhulu. So B, later on the show we will be talking about the basis of podcasting.
Yep.
Ne? And then we will be talking about behind the scenes of podcasting.
100%.
And then we will be talking about exploring the art of podcasting. So goes abamnandi. And then we will discuss the final product, because at the end of the day siyayiqala siyathini, but eyona yona indawo esiyakhona is exploring the final product. If we have the final product, then all things are right. So stay tuned, guys, uhlale nathi throughout the show yethu sizaniphathela izinto ezi-right about podcasting, so that now if you're thinking of starting, uyazi how to start, how to maintain, and how to feed a final product yakho. So as mentioned again, Noluthando Nondalana on the creative corner. I'm Nobanele Mngqi, who's the co-founder of Share Online. So ixesha ngoko at 2:23 p.m. we will quickly go on an ad so that nani niphefumle and show abantu that Share Online is live, guys, and make sure that you share and share. Unganqishani nge-information. Ndiyanazi ninazi creatives, artists, niyathanda ukwazi nodwa. Today is not about that. We share. So we're gonna play Imoto by Kid Epic and Cheese Boy, and then when we come back, we do all things right.
Yes, Bafethu, this is your boy Andy Maandi. Catch me every Thursday 2 p.m. Khona with the Broskis of Sotra, brought to you by Ishe Radio. We are fixing the country. Ungatha sikutshelanga atsiye kadas.
Ayo my love, ayo my love, ayo my love, ayo my love, ufuna bambe imoto, ayibe imoto, ufuna bambe imoto, ayibe imoto, ufuna bambe imoto, ayibe imoto. laba ngikwenzela konke awukodwa ukhetha umbukisa ngabantu oy uma love ay ayungowami awuthathongo wakho ay uma love ay ayungowami awuthathongo wakho ay ufuna bambe imoto ay beyimoto ufuna bambe imoto ay beyimoto ufuna bambe imoto ay beyimoto ufuna bambe imoto ay beyimoto
Wangishia labafana abancane wesithi wangishia labafana babhemizolo hayi ekusakuthandi ngisakufuni hayi ekusakuthandi angisakufuni
ufuna bambe imoto ay beyimoto ufuna bambe imoto ay beyimoto ufuna bambe imoto ay beyimoto ufuna bambe imoto ay beyimoto
Welcome back, guys. Usahleli nam Nolu knows ndingambi ndedwa ke namba nobanele welcome ngqi.
That's me.
Ixesha ngoko at 2:28 p.m. and that was Kid Epic ehamba no Cheese Boy esithi ufuna banemoto. Guys, sizawuthini ungabafuna banemoto because kuyabanda kuyanetha, we have to like make sure basi safe. Makalonke.
That's why the country is in this shape.
How? John.
No, that's because not every guy, good guys, will have a motor.
Okay.
Yeah, so look, if you make your bed, fine, lie in it, ne? But then Xasa don't come back ukhala, or to know, guys are like this, like that. I think for nobody motor.
The problem is Vanele kuhlelo uzokhala vele whether uye kwanomoto uye kwangenamoto uhlelo uzokhala and yephi into engcono ukhaliswa ngumuntu oncedisayo financially or ngemoto or ukhaliswe liphara
Wait. So you're saying umuntu onemoto unemali?
Okay, hence indizibeke zoyi-2 I said
Yeah.
yephi indlela uba ube safe ukhaliswe ngumuntu onemali or financially
No, but we're talking about umuntu onemoto, ne?
Okay.
So not all people that drive, in fact
Have
most,
money.
yeah.
Yes, I know that, but imagine into yokuba nxa ndisiya kwi-boyfriend yam umele ndihambe ndinethe everything ne akanamoto, and then there's this guy onphikisha up, so ngokupho ngcono makanikhalisa iphara eli ndifika ndiqhaqhazela ndigodola.
So bonke bazokukhalisa.
Exactly.
No, guys, you heard
So
it.
I must choose
you
my
heard it
struggle
first.
well.
Yeah, unothanda athi athi bonke bazokukhalisa. So yeah, be
Better
prepared.
ukhale ngcono ukhale front seat.
Yeah, until you see that front seat being occupied by someone else, ne?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Because eventually it will find its rightful owner.
No, there's no owner.
There is. Once lo mntu mhlambi gets married, we know that this is the owner of this.
Okay.
Sit.
Okay. So can I say this? Ne? Ukuthi, on Thursday we've got sisterhood, right? And broskis, where we unpack such topics. It doesn't mean ukuthi maso shadile you stop doing ama shenanigans wako,
True.
right? So if you've always been someone otanda into eziphume and you'll continue doing that. So when you say the rightful owner,
The wife.
yeah, but now okay, but you know what? These topics is a Thursday. Let's
Yeah.
just leave it at that.
Yeah, so thank you for correcting me, but I still stand. Mile. It's all good. So can we start?
Yes, please.
Sigaqala?
Yeah, for
You
sure.
sure?
Yeah.
So, Fem, as Ben Chilo in the beginning of the show, that today we will be discussing the basis of podcasting. We will be talking about behind the scenes of podcasting and exploring the art of storytelling and podcasting, and the final product, leyo song esiyingxameleyo, how to make money in podcasting. But okwangoku we will be talking about the basis of podcasting.
Yeah.
I want us to talk about how to start. Ne? Because let's say I've got this dream, I've got this idea of
But maybe let's start to see what is podcasting. Right?
perfect.
Yeah. And funny enough, the word podcasting, ne, it's relatively a new word, but it has changed and morphed
Okay.
over the past couple of years. That it used to stand for an audio clip that you can download onto your computer or to your mobile device and you can listen. And it's mostly conversational.
Yeah.
Yabon? But it was audio only. So in terms of the etymology of the word, a podcast, it has changed and morphed. Nowadays, when someone says podcast, what do you think about? Video.
Yeah.
Right? You think conversation and all of that stuff. So as much as it has changed, but I think the core, the meaning behind it is still the same, that it is more of a conversation around a particular topic, and this is captured and downloaded, for people to listen offline. And this was a differentiator because when you think about radio was that medium where if you missed it, it's gone.
Okay.
Okay. And then eventually over time, with the growth of the internet and websites, they were recording shows and they would then provide a segment of the show, of the radio show, as a downloadable audio file. Okay. So we call that a podcast. So it has changed. It has changed. I mean, right now we're podcasting live about a certain topic, and we've added video and different other engagement elements, like people are able to comment and talk to us in real time. You know what I'm saying? So essentially that would be podcasting in a nutshell, that you want to capture your thoughts, you want to capture your ideas, conversation style.
Okay.
So you would do that either through audio or video, doesn't matter, but then it's more conversational. And when we talk podcast, it's not TikTok videos, right? It's long form content. Long form. By long form, I mean, hey, it can stretch over 30 minutes, and I've seen podcasts that go for like 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna go to that question. I wanted us also to discuss how does this differ from other content platforms such as radio, but you mentioned that, and also this thing we are doing, which is live, because other people can't differentiate between into eyenzeka vele ngoku, what we are doing, and podcasting. So you did mention that podcasting yona you can record and then edit ubuyele later on, but now if spedile people can hear that.
Yeah, in terms of the delivery medium, you could either do it live or you can pre-record it, right?
Okay.
And when editing it at the end, if it's pre-recorded, you can be intentional. Whether do you want to include the mistakes? Do you want it raw, authentic, or do you want it on point, right? But that's just the delivery medium. But at the core, it's still the same thing. And as far as this is a conversation amongst people on a particular topic, and they are discussing it over long form. Yeah. So I would say that it doesn't really matter how it's delivered. Yes, there are a couple of benefits for delivering it online. Live versus pre-recorded. Pre-recorded means you get to tune, you get to fix it the way that you want. But if it's live, you don't get that liberty. However, if it's live, you do get that engagement because
Okay.
people can call in, people can comment, right? So there's different strokes for different folks, but at the core, a podcast is still a podcast.
I remember my friend, I think it was in the beginning of the year or
Yeah.
last year, I'm not really sure, where SABC ukhuphe a statement saying that now you need to pay for a radio, you need to pay for all these things. Ne? And then,
But you know that was fake news, ne?
yeah,
Yeah.
I remember us discussing it that vele, ne, it was not a thing.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the fact that it is possible. Because with SABC, you can never be too sure.
Yeah, so if I were to look at where the country or the world is headed, ne, and I compare it to the past, in the past, it means that the broadcasters had all the control. So think about DSTV, for example. DSTV back then, everything was live in real time. And then they introduced this little decoder, man, but is it Pure View or something?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, but then you could record TV, and then you can play it back at a different time. So it allowed you to pause live TV and you can record certain segments. I think that was the start of taking the power a little bit away from the broadcaster back to us as the end user. And then things further escalated to say, hey, you know what, we're going to provide TV on demand. So if you missed, let's say, Generations,
Yeah.
anytime you can just go back and you'll see the last maybe 20 episodes, right? And they took it a step further to say we're going to introduce Showmax, which is a streaming service that allows you to view Wonkama episodes. So I remember I joined the bandwagon the river a bit late, season 2.
And
So
then
I
you-
sat and I watched the whole
okay.
of season 1, Showmax, episode after episode, you know. So this is them giving us the power, okay? And it allows us to decide what is it that we want to watch, what is it that we want to listen to. And with that being said, things also escalated to a different level where it's no longer just the broadcaster that's creating the content to be viewed. Now it's the end user that's also creating content
Out of
for the fellow,
Yeah.
yeah. So not just the broadcaster, but you and I are creating content. People on TikTok, people on Facebook, YouTube, right? They are now creating content. So the fight or the struggle for attention has been, amplified, and it's real now. So I get it. Before there were, a high percentage of listeners listening to radio. Now it's probably gone down because instead of listening to radio, people are listening to us.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. Good question, Yam Ukuba. If that, if it wasn't fake news, ne? It means now we need to pay to listen to radio, whether we are on our cars or wherever. We need to pay. So, would you pay for a radio or uhlale on YouTube for podcasting? So, because you answered Uba, now we are headed to this direction because now podcasting they made it easy for us to listen and watch anywhere. So you do not need to be home to watch TV. Now you can go to YouTube usemsebenzini.
Yep, 100%. I mean, even with the Rugby World Cup, shout out to SA,
Yep.
right? Even with the Rugby World Cup, we were streaming it online
Yeah.
on a TV.
Yes.
Okay, so the concept of what is traditional TV or radio in today's day and age, it has changed. I'm going to ask you a question. When do you consider that this is a radio station?
Yes.
Right, but then what makes a radio station according to the traditional definition, you would say no, it's not.
Okay.
Right? Because we've included cameras, we interact live nabantu, and people can comment and do whatever, right?
And you do not have to have a radio.
You don't
in
have to
order
have radio.
to listen and watch.
Right. So a radio that can dial into a certain frequency. So this basically transcends all kinds of borders that they would have created around radio.
And uzukumbule, my friend, the first thing a person asks Mao City, we've got a radio station. Ati, which frequency?
Which frequency? Yeah. No, but I mean, it's the older guys, ain't it?
No.
Babusa, yeah.
No, I remember somebody.
No,
I remember somebody.
Young ones.
I remember somebody. I think Akazanga commented. She sent a private message on our Facebook saying, "I want to listen. Ne? Which frequency can I find you guys?"
Sure.
So, Sivele, she's listening to us live. But then again, because it's a radio, ne? Now they want to go to radio and check the frequency. But they already watching us on Facebook.
Yeah, no, I can understand that, ne? But the very same way a bit earlier I did show or demonstrate to the word podcast has changed, because initially it was just audio only.
Yeah.
All right. But the meaning in today's day and age has evolved with time. So I would say the same is true with radio, that when someone says radio, we shouldn't only think that you need a frequency that you need to dial into. For example, let me ask you this. Does your phone, when you plug in on my headsets, does it have a radio section?
Yeah.
Mine doesn't.
And mine has.
Mine doesn't.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, and
okay.
you know, I paid like a couple of blocks for this phone.
Okay.
Right? But mine doesn't.
Okay, we will continue. We'll continue talking about that when we come back. Guys, in the science angoko, we're gonna play Ngwanona by Uno prefix. But before Siambe, I want to make sure that you guys Niamba Nati, we will be talking about the basis of podcasting, how you can start podcasting and how you can maintain, and the equipment needed and the art of podcasting. So if you want to gain information when it comes to podcasting and how you can maintain a craft yako when it comes to presenting and everything else, this episode is for you. All you need to do to engage with us is contact us on 061-524-7758 or send, in fact, you can send a voice note or a message. Ungalibali guys to comment on Facebook. Ubuzo mbuzo ofuna umazi. Masameke, let us go on an ad break. Have fun, Nolu knows over here. Catch me Kongo Lwesibini at 2 p.m. on the Creative Corner. Masameke.
This is Share Radio.
Engizibani lo mntwana ogibela imic. I skate isincane shake nice. Yeke mangwana no namalang mic. Koskapaiza ntwana it's very price. Engizibani lo mntwana ogibela imic. I skate isincane shake nice. Yeke mangwana no namalang mic. Uskapaiza ntwana it's very price. Yeah, masifika endaweni bayabuza uphetheba. Ama-outsagcwela usisufuna ba masifika endaweni bayabuza uphethe ba ama-outsagcwela usisufuna ba utla yo ish yo ashu yo ish yo utla Uphetheba sisufuna ba eish uphetheba sisufuna engithi ngifanele impilo engizoyiphila nale ntwananyana vele ziyangidina nale zaka seyifuna more ungasikhiphile namba soyiphinda hayi ke kumunye umuntu uzosivimba igame iyashisa ifuna mina beba singathasa zobagive khuluma kakhulu asisaba ukucisha engithi ngifanele impilo engizoyiphila nale ntwananyana vele ziyangidina nale zaka seyifuna more ungasikhiphile namba soyiphinda hayi ke kumunye umuntu uzosivimba igame iyashisa ifuna mina beba singathasa zobagive khuluma kakhulu asisaba ukucisha engithi kudala basicikela phansi bangafuni isibone ilanga nako sekuvela i-superstar naye ingozi awudaka phansi sininyembezi ungakhala isikhathi sofika khona manje beka indlela ungabheka amaside ngoba ujesu ukudlalela right yeah yo ish yo ashu yo ish yo utla
sisufuna ba
That is uno prefix esithi nganona uthi umntana ogcoka isiketi esifresh esincane ayibo guys, you are still watching the Creative Corner brought to you by Share Online. Igama Knowles and ixesha ngoko it's 2:49 p.m. and I'm ndedwa ke guys ndisahle nobanele wakwamnci, the co-founder of Share Online. Such a big word.
wena uzokubulalisa ngabantu nozongithagetha manje Noluthando.
Askies.
So who's the other co-founder? Because multi-co it means there's another.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I should do my research, eh?
No, uzongibulalisa ngabantu. I'm serious.
Okay, guys, ixesha lisasivumela. So what we're gonna do now, we will be talking about starting a podcasting.
Yeah.
So I've got this idea. With this idea, ngenza ntoni to officially start podcasting. Please don't mention, we're not talking about the equipment yet. We're talking about how we can nurture this idea and turn it into something umuntu onohlala phansi ayibukele.
It's a tough one because there is a psychology into creating all of this, right?
Okay.
And you would have to undergo the process of creation, creativity-wise. So you've got an idea, you jot it down, you come up with a couple of topics, and you have to somehow script all of these things, ne?
Yeah.
So it's basically the same planning that one would go through if they want to put together a movie, series, a book, music. So yeah, you start off with an idea. Simple as that. And let me just say something about ideas, ne? I've seen in the past that people can come up with ideas that does not necessarily resonate with them. Okay.
Okay.
And that's fine, which I'll explain a bit later. But you come up with an idea, and if you are not knowledgeable in that field, obviously we will see that
Okay.
you do not know what you are talking about.
Because you'll be all over the place.
You will be all over the place, ne? And nothing is concrete in terms of what you're delivering. So my advice would be, if you're going to start a podcast today, rather start off with a topic that you are well versed, well knowledgeable in, so that you can provide value for the individuals that will be listening.
And another thing, B and Funu Eda, from what you have said, because I've seen Amanda Banin Sabati, we're starting a podcasting. I know a lot about acting. Ne? And then Akal. Remember you said, ne? You would advise them to talk about something they know. Ne? So now they know acting. I know acting. I sit down, I'm like, okay, fine. I can start this.
But you know, the biggest mistake is thinking that if you are in the art business, ne, that you can somehow transfer your artistic element or nature from one form to the next. So as a musician, as an actor, you think, you know what, this thing is easy.
Yeah.
Because as a musician, I perform on stage and I do get the crowd going wild and all of that. But when they take you, the person who's used to performing, but bigger in front of a camera, you do different.
Yeah.
So we should respect our fields. We should make sure that when going into something, let's also try and do thorough research around that, because it's not the same. So yes, you are an actress, you're an actor, but coming into the podcasting space, I think one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that being behind the microphone, everyone should respect it, because just like musicians, actors, ne, your radio DJs and your podcasters, these people are performing behind the mic. Like right now, you are performing.
Yes, true.
Yeah, you are performing. So it's not a case of, fine, I've got an idea. Can I get a microphone somewhere? And then you just start speaking. There's an art. There's a whole creative process that goes into this.
I was going to mention the research. So guys, la respect aspect. Ayizange nobanele nambe ndiyicinga nengathi yo uclever lo mfo. Nambe liyicinga. That's a biggest problem, Banele, because many people think indoba, okay, fine, I've got this idea. Ne? Mna, I've been on stage, theatre, hlawumbi ndi actor. Ne, I can do this without doing your research. So guys, research, ibalulekile when it comes to starting something new, because abantu bayaqala izinto every day. We've got an idea. So how do you know that this research is last? Ne? Because abanye abantu, they start and then they fail.
Yep.
Yes, failure is there. However, I believe that with a research, ne, at least uzoqhuba. Because I remember the other time we started a magazine. And then many people came after that. But Nabo can also do a magazine. In fact, Bakala. But after a month or two, they were nowhere to be found.
Yep.
Ne. I would say with a researcher, azange bayenze, in fact, because if they did it, they would know indoba there are challenges. You will undergo one or two things, and then you need to do leya in order to overcome.
Yep.
Ne? So I would say research is very important after this idea on nayo. So my friend, I want us to talk about the fact, okay, fine, so now your idea, you did your research. Now, let's talk copywriting. What do we do to make sure that the next person doesn't steal your idea?
Now, when it comes to podcasting, it is a tough one, right?
Okay.
Because when we talk about the IP, typically when you
Johnny IP, my friend.
intellectual property, right?
Thank you.
So intellectual property, it's whatever you've produced in your brain, mind, and so on. So, I mean, if you write a book today, it's considered IP, right?
Yes.
Now, when we take a collection of, for example, a book, a collection of words that are put together, where you wrote a book, it's got chapters and pages and all of that, that we can consider as the IP. But now, you're going to write 1 or 2 sentences. I mean, you're going to talk about a topic that other people have discussed. Then in that way, it's difficult for you to protect or say that this is exclusively mine.
Yeah.
And protect it in such a way that no one else can do what you do. So in this space right now, I'm not aware of people that are copywriting my podcast,
Okay.
right? And even if you've got an idea, trust me, someone else has done that idea. I think what would be a differentiator here is how different do you do it, right? And people will see, people will know that this is exclusively you. But as far as protecting an idea for a podcast, I don't believe so.
And if we say checkisha, content creators, I wouldn't. I don't want to use igameles or something. But the content creators seem to be copying from other people. It's all about how different you can make it as Uchilo. Because if you can go on TikTok, we all produce content similar from the next person.
It's basically rehashing it, yeah. So there's a website called Creative Commons.
Okay.
Creative
Common or comments?
Commons.
Okay.
All right. So that's COMMONS.org. So this is a non-profit organization that deals with the copyright for creators. So there are people that create from scratch, like your painters, your musicians, and so on. And what they've basically done is to create a number of licenses around the copyright issue. So, for example, you can go on the internet right now, and if you are looking for music for your podcast, or you're looking for a picture, there are websites like your unsplash.com, pixels.com, or Pixabay, and then there's other ones for music and so on. So what these people have done, they've said, look, you can take my material and you can use it, but you need to give me credit. But it's not mandatory. If you can give me credit, please do. Okay? And then there are some that say, you can take my material, reuse it, but only for personal gain. If you want to use it commercially, you need to pay me. And then there are some that say, take my music, you can remix it, you can do whatever, I don't care. Whether you get paid from it, whether you don't get paid, it's up to you. Okay? So one would have to somehow familiarize themselves with copyright to understand that if I'm going to be taking something from someone and reusing it and making it my own, I need to understand the terms and conditions involved. Now, there are some websites like your Shutterstock or your bigstock.com where you pay a certain subscription. And with that subscription, you are able to take as much photos, pictures as you want, and you can also use them for commercial gain. Now, some of them do differ in terms of the licensing because, yes, you can take something and use it on a website, but if you want to use something for, let's say, a T-shirt, and you're going to be selling it, then the terms and conditions change. But I would advise people to go to creativecommons.org, and there they will find the different kinds of licensing. Yeah, but this is a non-profit, right? It's a non-profit that would teach you about what is available and what can you use and not get penalized, and what can you use and still make profit out of it. Yeah.
Uyazi Banelene, when I started YouTube, in fact, let me not say when I started, when I wanted to start YouTube, I thought it was all about tati camera, shoot something, upload, and make money.
Yep.
So I later found out that no, there's a lot that gets to. There's a lot you need to do. And you need to take yourself seriously and your craft seriously. You need to respect into yenzayo. And then after a few years, you might make money out of this product.
Yeah, yeah.
So abantu abaninzi I know they've got la mentality nam ndandinayo into ba what I need is maybe a camera or ifone yam mhlale phansi ndifote and
it's
at the
true,
end of the
it's
day
true.
make money.
Yeah, it's one of the ingredients. Ne? Ukuthi you do need a camera, a microphone,
Yes.
but there's another ingredient that they are forgetting:
Which one?
grit.
Grit?
GRIT.
Okay. What
Yeah.
does that mean?
It's that thing ukuthi once ungenile ubone ukuthi hey kushubile ne, that you are willing to persist and continue up until you achieve something. And I don't think this only applies to YouTube or the podcasting world, but anything in life, right? You want to succeed in something, you need that determination, that grit,
Yeah.
in order for you to keep keeping on when it's raining, to keeping on when things are not looking so great. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, you uploaded your first video. How many views did you get?
Less than 50.
Exactly. And 14 of those, it's your friends, right?
Yeah.
50 or 15?
I said less than 50.
Oh,
50.
50, yeah. So
Yeah.
you probably find that a large majority is your friends, and then you contributed maybe 20 views by rewatching the video back and forth, right?
Yeah.
But I get it. I get it that we sometimes look at something and think that it doesn't require a lot. I mean, what's so difficult with being in front of a camera behind a mic and just talking? Because podcasting is talking.
Just talking.
When you look at YouTube and other platforms, they make it seem easy and simple, right? So obviously we dive into that thinking, you know what, here it's just a walk in the park. But we get a rude awakening when we do our first one and we post it, and yeah, we create what is called digital waste. I don't know if
Okay.
that makes sense.
Quebec.
Yeah, think of a dump site, ne, where you throw. In fact, yeah, the municipality dumps all the waste and all of that stuff, ne. In terms of digital content, right? Here's a fun fact, because in 2022, a study was done that every hour on YouTube, right, there's close to 500 million hours
Oh, okay.
of content that's being uploaded. Sorry, every minute. Let me just double check here. But every minute there's about about 500 million, right? Now, who's got time? And I'm talking about the world, us. Who's got time to watch that content? No one, right? So we create what is called digital waste.
Just to dump it
It's
there.
just gonna sit there. Like if you were to go back to your first YouTube video, you know that it's being hosted at a server somewhere. That information is not deleted. So someone's keeping it. And because no one's watching it, it's called digital waste. Okay, cool.
But someday they'll go back forward.
That's if you make it. That's if you make
Okay.
it. But then it's like saying to every, and you're telling these young kids, let's not lie to the kids. You'll all make it. Some of you won't make it.
Okay.
And, well, maybe even most, because I've lived long enough to know Guti, most people don't make it in life.
Hence, they always say, not everybody. Okay, they use the statement when it comes to acting, ne? Not every person is an actor. Not every person who goes to school for acting will end up as an actor or actress.
Yeah.
So, yeah, ndiyayivuma, whatever you are saying. However, we need to start at the end of the day. We need
I agree.
we need to produce the content, and then we need to turn this idea into a product.
But now let me ask you this question, right? So I've got an idea
Yeah.
and I want to talk about a certain topic. And maybe this topic is seasonal. And maybe it's because we are going through the election period and there's something I need to address about community ills and all of the injustices that we face, right?
Okay.
And I decide, you know what? Hey, let me create a podcast. Does that make me a podcaster?
I think it depends, ne? The podcast yako irana for how long?
It's seasonal.
So let's say sizokhupha 5 episodes.
It could be more, but it's seasonal. It's for the election period.
No, because at some point uzoyeka.
Yeah.
Nah.
So in other words, doing a podcast doesn't make you a podcaster. In other words, being in front of a microphone doesn't make you a podcaster, a singer, or
the same way ukuhlala ngoku ne and be talking doesn't make you a content creator.
okay. So what would you say is that ingredient that makes you one?
Okay, we will talk about that, but let us quickly go on an ad and then Masbuya Suzoteta about the ins and out, and then we will answer a question Gabanele in Dogba. Just because you produced content for a certain period of time, does it make you a content creator or a podcaster? What we're gonna do now, so Glalelu Young Crazy and CT Suit and Tie. Guys in Yindao, it's all about loving local music.
Depression and suicide are serious issues that affect many people. If you're feeling alone or hopeless, know that you are not alone. There are people who care about you and want to help. If you're struggling with depression or suicidal thoughts, there are resources available to help you. The South African Depression and Anxiety Group offers a 24-hour toll-free emergency helpline for suicide crisis support. Call them on 0800 567 567. Remember, you're not alone. There is hope and help is available.
Hey yo, BSN, I'm telling you, nigga, like for real, nigga.
Nah, you can't.
See, I'm crazy in time.
Man, I don't believe this.
You don't believe me? Nah, okay, it's cool. Man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Okay, listen. Suit and tie, he knows who I do know why. Business man, but no car. Fake cereal is them hard. The man is in a suit and tie, no drip, but give it a try. James Bond or Mr. Bean, but full of dopes I haven't seen.
Suit and tie, in a suit and tie. Homie can't define. Pose, I won't rely. You decide. Suit and tie, you gotta pick a tie. Oh man, this name is a tie. No lie, okay.
Suit and tie, he wearing a lie. He got a business without a suitcase. Owning his pride, look at his face. Clean the job like his mama's fake. Damn, got no time to debate. Go to the point, no looking around. Black and white, he's still to life. I still say suit and tie, he knows who I do know why. Business man, but no car. Fake cereal is them hard. The man is in a suit and tie, no drip, but give it a try. James Bond or Mr. Bean, but full of jokes I haven't seen.
Suit and tie, in a suit and tie. Homie can't define. Pose, I won't rely. You decide. Suit and tie, you gotta pick a tie. Oh man, this name is a tie. No lie, okay.
Pull up with the suit and a tie, all black, my strap, my bag. Better watch your backs up, mindful back, no cap in all my raps and my stumble in all these traps. Man, I'm humble and more than that. I be bonding, can call me James. Ancestry bars and sanctuary, I got real like I'm mistaken. Opposite rips, so misstepping, must have been lot of mistaking all my profiting and faking. Go and hate yourself, here's a rope to go hang yourself. That's what they told an assassin. He ain't just a narcissist. Otherwise, I'll be paranoid. Solo, I'm trying to fill the void. Eternity, you can't avoid. Have been working for 8 days. You be working, you getting paid. Happy for you, got get the bread. No one hit me a yellow tie. Make sure my suit is check the beat. Oh my, I still see him and say, oh my, the suit is too tight. But I didn't have it a long time. This niggas wanna cheat, but he too slow than a cheater. He thinks he owns it, but he still fakes it like a filter. Goddamn, that matches the tie. Yeah, suit and tie, he knows who I do know why. Business man, but no car. Fake cereal is them hard.
You don't have appreciation for the art.
Why?
Like you make fun of rap, but you don't understand the intricacy that goes into writing a verse.
What do you mean I make fun of a rapper? Because like I listen sometimes to rap music, ne?
Yeah.
However, I don't think I understand.
Yeah, no, I don't think you would understand because, yeah, this is not for everyone. Really.
Exactly, it's
Yeah.
not for everyone.
It's higher grade.
What do you? So, Tina bantu be what do you call be piano nendone? It's lower grade. What do you mean?
Ngikhuluma ngawe, I'm talking about you because
Okay.
now I listen to my piano. So, but I love and appreciate rap. I'll give you a typical example. Ne? What rhymes with the word light?
Darkness.
No, not the opposite. I'm saying
Okay.
what rhymes with it.
I don't know.
Okay, so light, bright, ne?
Oh, okay.
Fight. Give me a word.
Guys, can we not do this?
No, I'm taking you somewhere. That's why I wanted to start simple.
No, don't take me somewhere, please. I'm begging. Don't
No.
take me somewhere.
I think other people will now maybe appreciate it, ne? Once I show them the intricacy that goes into writing a verse.
No, wena banene. Ileno ntshoyo ndithi, it's not a matter of looking down kuyo ne, but it's me not understanding. Yakon?
Hence I'm trying to provide leyo light encane.
Don't provide it. Lando ifana nento ba the time bensezikolweni for fashion designing, people would say, "What are you studying?" I'm like, "I'm a fashion designer." Which way?
Sure.
Oh, niyathunga. Like you saw. That's the only thing that comes to mind when you talk about fashion designing.
Right.
Ukuthunga.
And when you didn't take the initiative to say it's part of Uktonga, ne? But then when we speak about fashion design, we look at trends, we look at what kinds of materials are there, ne? We look at the kinds of stitches. Not all stitches are the same. By stitching I mean patterns. So if you want to create a strong stitch, you do this, you do that, the materials, and then there's different types of materials that can be eskumbeni on the skin, right? So that you don't sweat. That's why your undergarments are made from, etc.
Now,
So, I'm saying the same.
Now it shows that you do not understand it. Hence, nizama ukubonisa nami into yokuba, you might.
I may not understand it, but if you were to say to me ne, in context that maybe let's say you're going to fashion, and then you say to me, but let me educate you. I wouldn't be like, no, I know. Because that's what you're doing right now. It's no, let me show you what goes into a verse. You're like, no.
Don't show me because
Alright,
this is not the right platform for that. In Denzamo
No,
but it's not
but
the right platform.
I get it, ne? I get it. And I think this is a good segue to talking about putting together a podcast, ne? Is that you need to understand the intricacies that are involved.
Yeah.
The same way with hip hop that, let's just say hip hop 101, you just need to rhyme Kameli 1, right? And as and when you continue, you start learning about double rhyming or triple rhyming or rhyming the entire sentence. You start learning about punchline. You start learning about ambiguity and using puns inside your rap verses. You start learning about the flow. You start learning about the timing as well, that it's not every rap word or rhyme word that needs to land on a snare. Okay? So, yeah, the same is true with your podcasting, right? So now I'm segue.
Yo, uyang crazy one day, guys. Saying this is hip hop.
I'm segueing to podcasting, ne? Ukuthi, yes, you've got an idea, you think it's a good idea, and you want to venture into it, right? And you think you've got the grit.
Yeah.
And you've got all of the ingredients. Now, in terms of starting, a simple phone will do.
Okay.
Because I think the phone has a microphone. So if we were to strip it to the bare minimum, basics, then we would say that you can do an audio podcast.
Londo yi-guesting amameliyo because unahambela phambili host. Yo, asana. Okay, before siqhubeke ngalondo, guys, we were listening to Suit and Tie by Uyang Crazy. Ixesha ngoko at 3:14 p.m. Nisahleli noNolu Knowles ehamba noBanele lyric.
Yeah.
Guys, to engage with us, contact us on 0615247758. Ningalibali, we're still running a special zetu when it comes to advertising. All you need to do is to pay 100 rand for 5 listings. For 5 listings. Go to ads at shareonline.co.za. And also, we are open to book studios. So contact us on 078 2810 681 if you want to book a studio set to. You can also submit your music. So that simdlale nawe ufane no Young Crazy esidiscussa ngabo throughout ishows zethu. Perhaps someday ndizo educator ngomculo wakho. Banza.
Yeah, don't be close-minded.
Okay, I've started a podcast. Ne? I've got this idea. I make sure that the research, the planner. Ne? Now everything is sorted. I just need to press go. Ne?
Yep.
So I want us to talk about the equipment needed before pressing go.
Yeah. So essentially, time goes by very fast. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, what you would need is a device that can capture
Okay.
video,
like my phone.
audio. Yeah, like your phone. So you hit record. In fact, you fire up the audio recording app, and then you hit record, and then you record your podcast, and that's it.
Sorry to say this, ne? But there are phones that can produce good quality.
Doesn't matter.
So it's okay. Ndingathatha ifone yam ndifote whereas uyayibona iblurry or anything.
I mean,
something.
I can compare this to ukudla. Ne? There are women that don't cook good food, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's still food at the end of the day.
Okay.
And then there's men like my chefs, like your good chefs, ne? Like men that will produce masterpieces. So, ngibona ngathi into one doesn't matter. It's still food. It's just that the other one was expertly created.
Uzukhumbula into yokuba if we're talking about food, ne?
Yeah.
Uphekile unolu, ne?
Yeah.
But okutya ku
No,
okay.
the question is it still food?
It's food.
Yeah, it's food.
And
now.
then izokluthisa and you're gonna be full. You're gonna go to bed uhluthi, ne?
Yes,
Now
yes.
we're talking about something that you are feeding to thousands of people. Are you saying
look,
it's
a soup kitchen that feeds thousands of people, ne? It's still food nonetheless.
They
Even
eat,
though
they get full.
eat. Yeah, they eat
Now-
and get full. And it's thousands of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me. What's the first thing you look at when ufika go TikTok or YouTube?
Now, in terms of preferences, I'll take a step back and not really talk about myself. But I wanted to highlight that a podcast is still a podcast if you have managed to capture it and you are able to relay it or deliver it through whatever format. Ne?
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Then we will talk about the quality of my podcast that they do differ because remember earlier I said there's audio only. Ne? And then if we take things up a step further, now we can introduce video. So we're not just entertaining or basically catering for the hearing sense. Now we're catering for the hearing sense as well as your vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Benzokwenza lo mzekelo othine uzukhumbula into yokuba before somebody ahlale phansi abukele or amamele you need to attract the eye, ne? If it's something abayibukelayo, you need to attract the eye.
But you're correct. Ne? You're correct. And I think we are jumping a couple of steps la.
Okay.
We will probably discuss marketing another time, right? But then my question would then be, you took your phone, however crappy it is, you do have a recording app and your microphone works, ne? Inside the phone. You've recorded it.
Yeah.
At that point, when you stop hitting record, when you pause or stop the recording, do you have a podcast?
You have a podcast.
Sure.
But the question is it the podcast, is it worth it to be taken to people?
That's people will decide that.
Ilena nzama ukuthi
When,
kaloku-
the other time you said when you don't understand the hip hop, ne?
Yeah.
If I were to ask you, Guti, is it worthy for other people to listen to this kind of music? For you, it's not.
No, it is because
It's not for you, but
kukhona
for
abantu
other
bayi.
people. Exactly. My point
Okay.
exactly. So what
Bakhona abantu
I'm
bayi,
trying
ne?
to say, the question is, if you're saying is it worthy, we don't know. Only the audience or the public will judge.
Okay.
But then do you have a podcast? Yes, you do.
I've got a podcast, Banele.
Yeah.
Ne? But when you're listening to the podcast, ne? Rather than over sound ngolhlobo, you'll hear that's what you hear because speaker phone yam asisebenzi.
Sharp.
Asisebenzi kahle. And then when you look at it, kunkungu ingati there's a mist or something. Like, can I take that to people?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. ne?
Why?
There is it a book? No, sorry, it's not a book. It's just an audio recording that was done back in the days back in the days when they were recording to tape and whatnot, ne? And because of the knowledge that the guy was talking, I think it was Napoleon Hill, ne? The author of Think and Grow Rich. That's his voice. It was recorded in the 1930s. But because of the substance that he was saying, for me, I chose to let go or not to concentrate on the poor audio quality,
Okay.
but to take the substance, the knowledge that he was giving. Yabon? So I can say it doesn't matter, but it's a different conversation when we start talking about the quality of my podcast. Now, I don't want people to say, because of my phone has a hissing sound, it means I can't do it. It means that you can do it, but if you do have substance, then people will definitely listen. And then as time progresses, then you can look at the longevity of maybe people listening, because it does cause ear fatigue, you know?
Yeah.
But you can look at investing in equipment, but you would have already started. That's my point, that start. Doesn't matter if the sound isn't that great, doesn't matter if the visuals are not that great, but then you would essentially have created a podcast. No excuses. Again, it boils down to the first thing that we mentioned, that if you know and you think and you believe that you've got some substance, something to say to the public, ne? Go ahead and start a podcast and give us the knowledge that you possess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm taking backseat and zoqhubekisa, but it's okay to start. Ne? I believe it's fine.
Sure,
Ne?
sure.
You need to start.
Sure.
However, you need to know what you're giving people.
100%.
Hence, we always have one viewer on all these platforms. Ne? Ubone, you post content 20 minutes or something when you believe that usebenzele okanye kuthini, but umuntu oyi-1 views, because
Look, I mean, in terms of quantifying my views and success, ne? You've probably heard this from preachers that will probably say, you know what, even if one person is saved here, that's enough for them.
when 1 or 2 are gathered, I will be with them.
No. No, that's not what I'm saying.
It's fine, but then let's continue.
I'm saying you will hear a preacher saying, even if one person is
Is saved, at least umsebenzi
from a
kaNkulunkulu.
multitude, ne? Jesus would leave the 99 just for that one. So I'm saying that one is special because
Okay.
ufuna ukumamela wena. They are interested to hear what
Even
you
if
have to say.
lawani yichomi yakho,
It doesn't matter.
uye kusupporta
It
nje
doesn't matter.
waphuma.
So, in terms of quantifying his success in this space, one should actually create their own metrics, because you would say that 10,000 listeners is a good,
investment.
it's a good indication of success,
Okay.
right? But then the next person would say, yo, 10,000 this week. You get what I'm saying? So one would have to create their own metrics to say, I'm judging myself according to these standards. And it's okay if the standards do change over time. The same way that, Tina, if we were to get a video, Wednesday, ne, that's like less than 100. We know we didn't do well.
Yeah.
But then there was a time where we were barely in the tens of numbers, so like 30, 40, and then we crossed that 100 mark, and then that 100 mark is now a staple.
Okay.
So Ambiskat, and then 1,000 becomes that. So in terms of the numbers, ne, I think that comes with time, but I would say that, yes, you would have created a podcast, and then if you are serious about this thing, you can then look into investing on gear
Okay.
so that it looks good and it sounds good.
So I only need a phone and a microphone to start.
No, your phone already has a mic.
Okay. So if I were to invest money in this,
Yeah.
what would I need?
Okay, so we're talking podcasting, ne?
Yeah.
Now, if you were to invest money and you are starting off on a lean budget, ne? You still have your phone, and if your phone has that pin where you plug in my headphones, you can buy a microphone because you're going to pick up better audio. Ne? You plug in that microphone, and that microphone will then, instead of using the mic that's built into your phone, it will use that dedicated mic, and then you can record better audio. Okay, so that would be step 1. And you can still use your camera at the back if you want to include video. And then step 2 would be, hey, do you want to take your audio to the next level, how about you invest in a professional microphone
Okay.
as well as a sound card? So a sound card basically would be that little box that you will plug in your microphone into and then record audio. Now, because of today's phones being advanced, you can record to your phone again, or you would need a PC this time around. So yabona ukuthi as and when we increase the production chain, the value that even the price goes up. So you've got your sound card, you've got your microphone, comes with a cable as well, or you can get a USB mic that plugs straight into your PC. Then you can record audio. Okay. And then if you want video, you can still stick with your
Phone or get
your
a
phone.
camera.
Yeah. I mean, fun fact, there are some episodes, Lana, hopefully you guys can spot them, that we shoot them using a phone, right? Yeah. So you then invest in a camera, but now it also increases the amount of work that you would have to put in to complete or to put together an episode, because you are now recording separately. You're recording video on a camera and you're recording audio to your PC. Then comes a thing called the post-production, where you take all of these elements, the audio as well as the video,
Yeah,
and then you would
edit.
put them into a editing software. You would have to sync. By sync I mean align, because remember they were recorded separately, right? And you would then edit it and then export, and then you've got a final product.
Before Siakwi, let me say this. I wish that one day, as for Manitleisha, will sit down and maybe write an article about this information and feed it to the people, so that if omnyaka kwazango mamela, they get to see and read, and then babuye bazo reference whenever they want to learn. Guys, sizawubuya ngoku. We're gonna play you Silas Africa. Isithi icherry. Is it in the pronounce right?
Yeah, today it's like my love songs. Of some, okay, well, yes, songs that have to do with
Uthando, ne?
Uthando.
So is it Silas Africa, ne? Besiti Icherry, produced by Royce 77. Asambeke, guys.
Yes, bafethu, this is your boy Andy Maandi. Catch me every Thursday 2 p.m. khona la with the broadcast of Sotra, brought to you by Ishe Radio. We are fixing the country. Ungathi asikutshelanga atsiye kadaso.
not a problem because very soon I'll be joining Amapiano. So, and I
Yeah,
know
no, I think you're right, lap.
uba
When?
nzobe join Amapiano.
Yeah. No, because we can't have you go R&B or go Afro pop or soul.
But I can sing gospel.
Yeah, nalapo right. But it depends which gospel. But nalapo right.
I can also sing soul music.
So guys, before the break, we were talking about what equipment you would need to put together to create a podcast,
Yeah.
and then perhaps we can uncover this topic a bit more in as far as the creation of marketing and how to get the podcast out there.
Okay,
But you would have created the podcast, like it.
Yeah,
and you would have-
ungayi kwi marketing. We will talk about it later on the show.
on this show.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So ilana ntshiloyo ndithe i-guest yam namhlanje ihamba
No, man,
phambili.
no, you need more comfortable chairs. Dala ndlela apha.
Like uyayifeel? Uyayifeel ubuhlele esitulweni?
Yeah, the thing is, also the music wasn't as it wasn't a dance playlist, so
Okay,
I
yeah.
couldn't really stand up and
No,
get a leg break.
I would love to apologize on behalf of iKombaila yetu. I think I don't know what happened today. I think bamkomile or something, but
Yeah.
he was too in love when iKombaila does playlist.
No, but it makes sense. I mean, think about it. The first song was Ufuna Bane Moto, ne? So it probably it starts off in a heartbreak. Ne?
Or abamqomanga.
It starts off in a heartbreak.
Ushiywe ngumuntu wakhe.
Yeah, it starts off in a heartbreak, ne?
Okay.
And then as it progresses through, yeah, shukuthi okay, senifumene umuntu ngoku.
Okay.
Yeah, so loya umiyekile because bamshiyile for abantu ababhema izolo.
Okay,
Yeah,
abanemoto.
abanemoto, ne? Like wena so.
Okay, like me.
You said it earlier. You said it. No, we can rewind the tape. You said it ukuthi heartbreak vele izawufika. So
Ihlezi uzofika,
yeah,
but you
ngcono
must
ngithole
choose.
nemoto.
You must choose your heartbreak wisely.
Exactly. So for someone that is interested in you, akadrive, but yet there's another scoundrel okuthandayo kodwa uyadrive. Wena uzothini? I'd rather go
Ngifuna
with-
banemoto.
And then by
So
the time nina sebanphulile, you guys come to us, and then we have to pick up the pieces.
exactly.
No, we go for younger girls now.
Okay. You go for women with cars.
Women with cars.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that's a topic for every Thursday. Ne?
Okay.
Yeah, no, broski's already sisterhood.
So, guys, to put you light, Umweketse My Money was compiling the playlist song Yellow Sematandwin. When you see him up on Bonakona, please make sure that you give him a hug. So, but then as we were speaking about equipment and everything else, see, like highlighted that with your phone you can start a podcasting because already
Correct.
in your microphone.
Yeah.
But if you decide to invest, you need to buy yourself a camera. You need to buy yourself a mixer, a computer to edit. And also you need to be willing to pay for editing softwares. But I know if filmmakers as needs go to an buy crack, ne?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know filmmakers buy crack, but either way we move forward.
Look, there's it's an interesting one. A friend of mine signs music, ne? Because we started off with cracked software, and we all advance at different stages. So he was at that level where he could start paying for software.
Okay.
Give me didn't make sense. Ne? So he goes out, he buys a Cubase 6 point something, like, nice. He buys a Reason, okay, cool. And then he buys something that I thought, dude, why are you even spending money on this? Now, these
Okay.
things are called plugins. Plugins like an equalizer, a compressor, these are software based, ne? To help you mix music wako. And the software does come nama plugins, but then there are better plugins that you buy. So there's these ones called Waves plugins, and he bought it for like, at Black Friday years, he bought plugins for like 10,000
Wow.
rand. Daughter, like, you
You're
know,
wasting
but he was
money.
there. But guess what he said to me? He said, something interesting happened. Ne? When I started paying for software, I started getting more customers,
Okay.
right? Like, okay, so I remember those words. And guess what? Now I'm in a position to tell Abantu to no, pay for your software, buy it. Don't go for it, just crack you.
Okay. So, guys, Sanu crack Premiere Pro because I know Premiere Pro, but I'm crack. I also used.
Speaking of the Premiere, né? For those that are initiated, they'll probably know that this is a subscription-based
Yeah.
suite of applications. I love them, and they've got the industry-best tools out there now because it's subscription-based. At this point, I would rather pay for a perpetual license that I own forever
Okay.
rather than a subscription. But mind you, so we bought Vegas perpetual. So we are stuck on version 20 up until we decide to upgrade.
Yeah.
And even when you do upgrade, you've got like it's not the same price that you would pay for other software, right? Or if you're buying it new. So the perpetual one, it's all good. But then there's also the subscription that allows us to use some of the audio, video, like we spoke about copyrights, that these are free to use and free to commercialize. Ne? So I would say there are tools available. Just to quickly wrap on this one, from a software standpoint, ne? There are tools that are free, guys, free. Like if you were to go to the Windows Store and look at a Clipchamp, it's a video editing tool. It's free. It comes with your Windows PC. You can edit videos, lab, right?
Okay.
You can find assets. By assets, I mean music that's royalty free. You can find stickers or subscribe buttons and things in Jalo. So this is you starting out. So it's the equivalent of saying, okay, I've got a phone. I just recorded something. I need something to edit, but I'm not willing to pay money. In fact, you shouldn't pay money. I think the only time you should pay money for software is that you are in this thing for the long run. That's the time you should invest.
money,
Yeah,
okay.
but there's a lot of free tools out there, even for recording audio. Invite me again next time. And then we can spend maybe 30 minutes where I talk about the tools that one would have to put together to start from a software standpoint.
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely do that. But before we move to topic, ne, can you quickly summarize what's needed to start a podcast, like behind the scenes?
Yeah, behind the scenes, guys, you've got an idea and you've got the grit that you are willing to continue. You need some form of a recording device, whether it's video or whether it's audio. Now, the one tool that we have in today's day and age is a phone, because it can capture audio and it can capture video. But if you want to step up, you can then start looking at investing in microphones, and you can get these from your online retailers like your Take-A-Lot and your Bob. Bob is bid or buy, bidorbuy.co.za. So they're not that expensive, but as and when you progress through it, and I think at that point, this is when people will know this is for me or not. But if you think it's for you, then you can start buying microphones. You can get an audio interface. Sometimes it's called a sound card. Get a PC. Get your softwares. You can do a lot with free software, but as time progresses, you can start looking at investing, where you can buy a perpetual. What I mean by perpetual, it's lifetime license. So 20 years from now, you can still use it. And then when you're really, really into this thing, just like us, we've got a subscription with Magix or Vegas. You pay a monthly fee. We still own the license, but then in terms of the music and the videos and the assets, those you get them as and when they make them available. So this is what you need, guys. You need a capturing device, and you also need to think about where you want to post your podcast to. You can post it on WhatsApp to your friends.
Guys, ile guest yam inihambela phambili, but it's all good. Uyafuna ubekwa endleleni. So now that we spoke about equipment, we spoke about this idea, we turned into a plan, and then we came back, sa dibanisa the equipment that's needed. Now I want us to talk about exploring the art of podcasting, because even us, each and every day sihlala sibhala into yoba okay fine, if we can do A, B and C, if we can tell a story ngale podcasting, then singakhetha i-eye of the audience, because there's nothing important more than catching the eye, your audience, and storytelling.
Yeah, if you have you ever heard of the concept of the full circle experience?
No.
So it means that you start from a starting point, you go on this journey, and then you come back to where you started, and then you realize something like, you know what, this is the basics, Muslim.
Okay.
All right. So we get multiple experiences like that. For example, for someone who's behind the mic, you think it's just
You just
fun and
sit and
games,
talk.
right? It's a skill, and people are performing. These are performers. They're performing using their voice, the same way a singer would, right? Now, in terms of the artistic element that goes into creating a podcast, remember, we know that this is long form and it's a conversation,
Yeah.
okay? And certain things will probably take time for you to develop and for you to notice. That's why you start on the journey, and then when you come full circle, you realize something that, you know what, go so na so na so. So these are some of the things that I have realized. Number one, we need to respect the people behind the mic,
Yes.
because they are performers. They are performing with their voice. Another thing that I've realized is that it is not just random. There are some people that are really talented at storytelling, ne? And these people don't even know it. But then there are some, maybe even most, that have reduced this entire thing into a science. That, you know what, I'm going to have an opening, I'm going to talk about this topic, and in fact, you know what, instead of rather taking this topic, let me flow in a sequence that probably makes sense to the audience, okay? So this comes down as, hey, you know what, for a podcast, I need to plan what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
I also need to plan how I'm going to talk about it, because this is also important.
Scripting.
Okay? Scripting. So I listen to a lot of tech podcasts, and with tech podcasts, there's a lot of planning involved and scripting as well. Some podcasts are free flowing, but depending on the nature or the audience that you want to deliver to, you would have to somehow think about how they would love to receive that kind of a podcast, right? But and I've also seen that there's a thing called fatigue, right? That people would rather watch a video that looks bad, but the sound is good.
Okay.
So if there's one thing that one would have to invest in is proper sound. And when I say sound, it's not just the equipment itself, but then it's also the acoustics. So the acoustics are the things that are around the sound. So we are sitting in a room right now, and I would say this room is treated 50%.
Okay.
By treated, I mean there are sound absorbers, and these sound absorbers, they prevent an echo, or, just they prevent the sound from sounding unpleasant. This is also a good experience to make sure that the sound really sounds good. And then visually, yes, you can do that. Get some lights, make sure people are seen, make it comfortable, add some lights, and, just create a bit of
And
ambience.
some comfortable chairs.
And some comfortable chairs, right? But then these go with time in terms of investment. So, scripting 100%, research 100%. But then I would say continue along this journey. You will have a lot of these repeated cycles where you realize, you know what, this and this and this and that. So the same way you would watch a movie and they would somehow reveal the killer in the beginning, it means there's a plot or there's a twist somewhere. But if that's your intention, then start exploring on how to deliver a podcast. Yeah, but it's not as easy. And I guess when people look at it, they think you just sit here and you start talking. The same way I used to think that, when you're watching football and someone misses a goal, I'd be like, I would have done 1, 2, and 3. But ngene filled in, right? Ngene filled in. And I think the one thing that we still lack corner line the podcasting space is what we would consider coaches. Okay? For a singer, you've got a vocal coach.
Yeah.
They will tell you, okay, you know what, here, drop a kancane, here, go high, do this. And they'll also give you exercises so that you become good at what you do.
Yeah.
You've been a theater. Theater, you also get people that say, look, you're not showing emotion. You're not doing this. But then in the podcasting world, there are some that are extremely good, but we don't really know the reason why. And daily we try and unpack and we try and see what is it that makes this podcast really good. Is it because of its authentic nature? Is it because of the sound, which I doubt. So we don't have these coaches that will come to you after the show and say, Lou, I like the way that you present, but then you go into this thing where you do X, Y, and Z. So I need you to practice the following. They give you exercises, right? You practice, you come back. And then I can see you're improving. So every day, just make sure you practice pronunciation, because people are listening. They need to be entertained at all times. So you need to be clear. You need to pronounce your words clearly, right? So these are some of the things that we do not have, but we can try and borrow from some fields, like your acting world, your music world, your presenting world, your radio world, and then try and combine these things into that. So yeah, maybe I'll be a podcast coach. Who knows?
Okay, guys, hold it right there. Make sure uselamanzi ubuye. Just now, we will be talking about how you can make money out of the final product. Let us quickly go on an ad and then see buye sinexelele.
Depression and suicide are serious issues that affect many people. If you're feeling alone or hopeless, know that you are not alone. There are people who care about you and want to help. If you're struggling with depression or suicidal thoughts, there are resources available to help you. The South African Depression and Anxiety Group offers a 24-hour toll-free emergency helpline for suicide crisis support. Call them on 0800 567 567. Remember, you're not alone. There is hope and help is available. You're listening to Share Radio, the best online visual radio station in town. Tune in now and enjoy the best music from around the block. This is Share Radio.
As I promised you, Makali show that today we will be feeding you all about e-podcasting, from the basis of e-podcasting, behind the scenes, exploring the art of e-podcasting, and then now sifikelele ekugcineni the final product, how you can make money out of craft yakho, how you can make money out of this product. Igama senginolthando Nondalana, and this is the Creative Corner, brought to you by Share Online. Ixesha ngoko at 3:52 p.m. ungalibali ke. You can engage with us through Facebook here too. Just leave a comment, a like, and a question. Make sure that you go on our YouTube channel, which is Share Online, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Facebook, it's Share Online. Us like it, us follow we share, and also on TikTok we go by Share Online. Banene,
Yeah, well, yes.
are you still good?
Yes.
We've started this podcast. We bought equipment and everything else. So now the idea is pushil. Sihlel phansi nans podcast yethu. Before we press record, can you help me help whoever is watching right now structure le podcast?
By structure, what do you mean?
Okay. Every day thina apha sihlala sixoxe into yokuba no ishow ethile ingahambeli phambili is because ayina structure. Yeah, but so can we help people babone into yoba it's not about sitting down and talking, it's about structuring izinto uyazi uba from this time to this time we will be talking about into ethile.
Yeah. I mean, for most successful podcasts or any business out there is probably a process behind it. Ne?
Yeah.
And more often than not, it's something that we don't even see. But as a result of that, more and more creators are sharing ideas or ways in which they did or how they became successful or how they do what they do, right? Yeah. I mean, in the business world, this would be considered or something that's frowned upon, Because if I share my trade secrets, it means now ungazenza kusasa,
Yeah.
and then put me out of business. Ne? And I get it, But I think here in the podcasting world, it's a bit different because your listener could also be my listener.
Yeah.
I love, let's say movies, but at the same time, I love tech. So someone who does tech podcasts and someone who does movie reviews, I can listen to both of them, right? They both have a place in my heart. So, so some of the things that one would have to really consider, ne, is to develop a structure. And the most basic form of a structure is an introduction, a body, as well as a conclusion. Now, there's a lot of factors at play because we are talking about the attention yabantu.
Yeah.
But maybe let me start with the loyal listener. That if you are putting together a podcast, it should be about providing value. Okay? When someone is done listening to me, did they take something away?
Okay.
All right? And then maybe you could look at embedding all of these nuggets in different forms or different places during the podcast. So you can embed something right in the beginning. You can embed another thing, maybe a couple of things in the body section, as well as another thing right at the end. Okay, so this could be, hey, check out this website. Okay, I could be talking about, let's say, your, in this case, your delivery platforms, and I can say, look, there are a couple of websites out there that will allow you to upload your podcast absolutely free.
Okay.
And you can share this with other people the same way you would share your social media handles. Okay, check out this website. I believe for those that didn't know, I've just provided value. So they came here and they walked away with something. So yes, you've got your structure, and you can go as complex where you even break down your introduction, that the introduction should have X, Y, and Z. It should include the social media aspect to it. You should include the name of the person that is podcasting. You should always remind the listener about the person who is a guest. You should remind them of the time and all of these things. So you would have to look at what is unique to you
Okay.
in as far as putting a structure together. But I would say the basics would be an opening,
Okay.
intro opening. You've got a body and a conclusion. The very same way that you would write an email or a paragraph, intro, body, and closing. And then you can apply this opening, body, closing, even in small chunks, right? Where the main body of the podcast, like in this case, we're talking podcasting, we've got an opening that you would do. And then maybe for the body, you give it to me so that I can unpack it more.
Okay.
And then you sum it up. And then over to the next topic. And then you make sure that maybe, in fact, you even ask yourself, what value am I providing here? What is it that I want people to take away? Okay. So, yeah, I would say the most basic is that. And then as and when you progress through it, you can start building more complex structures into the show. Like maybe putting in ads, right? Where you give a shout out to your sponsors, you give a shout out to whoever is Patreon that's supporting you. You rope in social media comments and all of that. So yeah, everything is about structure.
Okay. Banza, I know YouTube and Facebook, also TikTok for a platform that I can upload lando yam.
Yeah.
I can upload le content yam. Ne? Now, are there any other platforms?
Yeah, I mean, in fact, we've got a proliferation of choice in terms of platforms that are available. I mean, if we think about podcasting as a whole, there are dedicated podcasting platforms out there. If we think about mixing music, as in being a DJ, there's dedicated platforms out there. Although on the surface, it kind of looks the same because it's audio, video. People can chat and comment, but there's like dedicated tools for that. For example, you're a musician, you're starting out and you need a place to host your music. You can upload it to a dedicated music platform like SoundCloud.
Okay.
Right? You can share your link, you get telemetry, you get all the data of who has listened to your music, And if you did allow downloading, who has downloaded it, when was this done, etc., etc. Now, when it comes to podcasts, things are much easier than before. So, for example, there's a website called buzzsprout.com. And then there's other ones like your Spotify bought them. The name just escaped me. But anyway, you get to upload your podcast free of charge, okay, at no cost. And you can send people your links that, guys, go here and you'll be able to listen to my links, my podcast. Now, because they use a technology called RSS, basically what this technology does is you get hosting for your podcast where it's saved somewhere. And then we take this RSS feed and we push it to your Apple, we push it to your Spotify, we push it to your Deezer, we push it to Google Cast or any other platform. So it basically reads the information about your podcast and then it's surfaced inside that app. So for example, I've got a podcast and I look for it on Deezer. I'm able to find it. And the reason is because, yes, it is hosted on a certain server, and then the server distributes that RSS feed, and then it's able to reference that same podcast. So it doesn't mean that the podcast itself is sitting in different places. It basically says all of these platforms are referencing the same place, but it's available almost everywhere. So you upload once, but it gets distributed everywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say the starting point, take a look at your buzzsprout.com. That's where you can host your podcast. And then there's other free ones, which I'll just quickly check out now. The one that Spotify bought, but I'll let you know. Yeah.
Okay. We've done everything. Gale podcast yet. We've got a final product. Ne? Masithethe ngento abantu bonke abayinxameleyo.
Yes.
The money side of the podcast yakho. How do we make money ngale podcast? Because if we were to upload go YouTube, ne? I know bazakuxelela nga 4,000 watch hours, 1,000 subscribers before you become a partner with YouTube. Is that the only way you can make money on YouTube?
Hey, there's multiple ways to make money. In fact, they keep introducing new ways of making money on YouTube, right?
Okay.
But then for the sake of making things simple, I'm just going to rope in everyone, ne? In terms of your YouTubers, people that upload videos, right? As well as podcasters. But at the end of the day, they're still videos. So you've got an account with YouTube. And YouTube has a policy, or it's called, when you join the creators network, where you would have to meet certain criterias that it's free to join, but you would have to make sure you've got a certain number of watch time. That's the number of minutes or seconds that people have invested in your material. So once you hit that threshold, and the reason I don't want to be specific, because it turns out that for different countries, they have somehow made it different for different countries, right? So I don't know. It looks like if you've got a higher population, then you get that 4,000 hours of watch hours, and then for certain countries they were maybe I don't know, but it's much lower there. So you would have to have at least 1,000 subscribers, or for some countries it's 500 subscribers.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you can join the creator business, and then you would have to apply, right? Because YouTube has to check the kind of content that you are
Giving to the people.
Yeah, so if you're talking about how to, be a terrorist, or how to do things that are not deemed as right in the public, obviously they'll decline that. But I mean, if you're doing a podcast about normal stuff, you'll probably get acceptance. Okay. And then once you do join the program, you can now start monetizing. And another thing that will be different would be when uploading videos, before you monetize, there are certain features that are grayed out where you choose if whether or not you want to monetize a particular video. Now, coming back to copyrights, right? If you included, copyrighted material that you don't have permission to, and you uploaded it and you said yes, monetize, YouTube takes the revenue from that video and they give it to the creator.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
so
it
if
does.
you took my song and I've gone ahead, copyrighted my song, everything is all good, you take and use it and you monetize it, the money comes to me.
All of it or part?
That part I'm not sure about. But to my knowledge, all of it goes to the other creator. Yep.
Okay. I think we've covered almost everything. But last question. I know ubuhlala ukwaza about the importance of thumbnails on YouTube.
Too much.
Ne? How important are thumbnails?
You know, I'm a thumbnails, ne? And I think it's one of those things we don't spend enough time on.
Okay.
But it's something I'm starting to learn the importance of, because I've seen that when you give it extra thought and you study also what's happening, where you upload a certain thumbnail, certain colors, or how you position abantu or the elements on that thumbnail, it can get you what is called my impressions.
Okay.
So impression would be someone viewing your thumbnail but do not necessarily click on it. So there's a ratio or contrast between your impressions, that I saw it but I did not click on it. So your views and your impressions will be two different things. So if you've got one view but then you had 100 impressions, it means 100 people saw it but only one of them clicked into it.
Okay.
And then we can dive deep another time into, okay, so the one that has clicked into it, how long did they stay, watching the video. But then the thumbnail, that's your first point of contact with a potential viewer. We were looking at stats the other day, and we discovered that almost 90% of our viewers, it's people that are not subscribed to the channel. So these are people we don't know. Some of them, maybe they are returning viewers, but then there's also a way to tell if this is a returning viewer, still yet unsubscribed. But essentially 90%. So this means that these people have never heard or seen you. This is YouTube saying, you know what, I'm going to take your video, I'm going to show it to a couple of people. Now, based on the response that the video gets, you can then they can then suggest it to more people. So if less people are interested, chances are they won't.
Okay.
So at the moment, I've seen that a click-through rate, click-through meaning they click and view, ne?
Okay.
A good click-through rate right now is anything above 10%, meaning that out of 100 people,
At least.
10 will click. That's where we see the good numbers. Now, there's a lot of work that's been done from content creation aspect with the likes of Facebook and so on, where they are doing what is called A/B testing. So A/B testing means, can I upload at least 2 thumbnails? And then in the background, based on the one that gets the more, they'll both get the same amount of impressions, but the one that gets a higher click-through rate, can you then stick with that thumbnail? Because it looks like that's the one that's attracting a bunch.
Okay.
Unfortunately, YouTube, something that's still not there yet. But then this is your first point of contact. And just like how you would represent yourself at a gathering, the way you are going a corner, I want people to think of thumbnails that way.
Okay.
Right? And I think it's also important to have theming and consistency, so that whenever you come out with a video, the style, we should know, okay, you know what, based on this style of a thumbnail, this video is definitely by so-and-so, without even having to read the text. So in the past couple of years, there's been a high volume of thumbnails that people are responding to, where if you add a face reacting to something coupled with the title, then that combination can get high views. So if someone is like smiling and they've got something, an element on the screen, on the thumbnail, it tends to get higher views. But that's for different kinds of videos. For podcasting, it's still a different one because it has to be consistent throughout. So yeah.
Okay. If you guys are watching us, ngel xesha singathi zawurapper, thank you very much. Guys, siyabulela kakhulu. Ningalibali ke press that subscription bell and then also auto notification so that every time see poster or see a live you are notified. And also uye ko Facebook, it's the same story. Uti follow and like, it's share online. And then on TikTok us join guys nathi us follow which is so that in fact so follow up back so that we engage sisonke banza
But yes.
a few words nyana to ongathanda to give to our people.
My last words with content creation, podcasting in this case, is that I don't think there ever in history there were failures. Ne? There were only people that gave up.
Okay.
Yabona. So whether it's 1 listener or 1 million, you should not give up. You should not give up. And then success is measured differently for each and every individual. So don't look for my 1 million views, because 1 million views on TikTok is also not the same as 1 million views on YouTube. But even on YouTube, your 1 million views are not the same as my 10,000 views. Okay, so let's not play the comparison game, but then walk your own lane. And no one has ever failed in this space. It's only people that gave up.
Okay. And to add from Ubanele, guys, the most important thing as a content creator is to start. The moment you start, then kuzaba right, yonke into izaba sharp, rather than uhlala phansi uthi I want to start into ethile, no, don't do that, just go all out and start. And then another thing, make sure that you post, creating content so that abantu bakwazi. Ungathi no last week I uploaded something. No, you need to upload and upload. Then we will know you as a content creator. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us today. Hopefully that you've learned a lot. If uhleli kule ndawo, make sure that you go back, you rewind a podcast here to where we were talking, in fact, in live here to where we were talking about the basis of podcasting. And then behind the scenes when it comes to e-podcasting, we spoke of the art of delivering e-podcast and also the final product, making money out of e-podcast yako. Guys, you can go to Facebook here to It's Share Online, YouTube and TikTok, go share online. And uyazi, every day we've got it shows is there too. Tomorrow, which is Wednesday, we will have a 2K at 11 a.m. And then at 2 p.m., we've got the Trusted Talk. And then City Thursday, Xeni, which is 11 a.m., we've got Sisterhood. And then 2 p.m., we've got the Proskis of Sodrabat. They are fixing the country. And then Kesyo Bango Lavitavi at 8 p.m. on the 8th hour, where we talk about all good things, sex and relationships. And then Search of Friday, we've got Ikasi Lifestyle Show, Apostle Jiva Bemanzi Pansi. And then we close the week with bars and beads at 3 p.m. Apoke rappers like Ubanele Mri as Ben Fundisa bayahlala bajoyine bathethe about the art of hip hop. Ngalibalike guys, every day is a good day. Share online. You can also submit your music if you are an artist. All you need to go on our website, which is www.shareonline.co.za. You can also read the articles there too about the guests zethu ezibanazo apha studio without le guest phambi kwam ke guys. But ezinye uzalifumana khona. Mna igama Noluthando wakho Nondalana, and you can find me on Facebook, which is Noluthando Nondalana. It's Nolu Nondalana on Instagram, and TikTok it's Malisa428. Banele, can people find you? Can you don't want to be found?
So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you again next week.
Guys, it's not celebrate studio ngafuna ufumaneka.
No, the thing is, I'm not gonna respond, and
Okay.
So,
Unevile ke guys celebrate later.
not good on phone, but it's like
You're busy.
I didn't see it, and so
Okay, it's all good. Guys, Sanishia Ngo True Love by Oshado featuring Jay Henry and Ahoy. Is it Ahoy? Ahoy?
Oh,
Oh, okay, guys. Obesity, true love. Remember, guys, if you happen to see my Stradini, make sure you give him a hug because I believe that there's something going on. Pakoy. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Sinitanda Tandi. Catch us tomorrow at 11 a.m. Thank you very much.
Usle Makoya lo, you're listening to Ishe Radio. Yazin. Ziyaoka Danko.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Love is blind. Surely ain't got eyes. True love never lies. Ukazamu chafa, yet it comes out like truth. Sooner or later, me my second. Love is love and no instrument to measure it. Malio, lobolo, or incomo, just to show you how much I'm dedicating this moment on. True love's the reason why the feeling they do share turns dope just to have you. Yeah, my other half, you fill me up, my soulmate. So fly what I can, I push the button just to turn me on. Cause she know all the points to make me weak or rather make me strong. Baby kiss it last long, she different like unicorn. Her type is so rare like nowadays and billabong. African dark tap, my biltong. Don't get this wrong when sharp a ding dong. I swear you make me kinda loco like I've been sipping on Lino. Shove my head inside the cocoa. African magic, abracadabra, you so you fall in love with I alone.
You're the one who takes control of me, baby. Letting me go will lead to crushing me. I'm so hard. Go away to Bambolami. I got come on, yes, Tanda Sam. You mean I was so bad, I could handle to love.
Hey, Jack, so what you telling me? Huh? That you nothing but just a friend of me. Cause all these niggas you bang are nothing compared to me. I treat you like a queen, I've been serving nothing but honesty. Damn, you make me feel like I just hit a wall. I'm not surprised though, I mean like I've been through a lot. I'm only hurting cause I never thought it would be you. I thought my feelings very nice, I guess all there was never God. It happened, you had to cheat on me, you damn liar. You ratchet, look now you turn me to a damn liar. They come in bunches, then I gotta choose inside the riot. Now I'm always hiding inside the cloud. I've became a pilot, so madly, suddenly got me levitating. Been bragging, for Lord I've been begging. Got me meditating, been betting. Niggas been betting, trying to penetrate, just big lightning. Said you was bragging, you laid into my face, damn it.
You are the one who takes control of me, baby. Letting me go will lead to crushing me. I'm so hard. Go away to Bambola. I got come on, yes, Tanda Sam. You mean I was so babilis, I could handle to love. You are the one who takes control of me, baby. Letting me go will lead to crushing me. I'm so hard. Go away to Bambola. I got come on, yes, Tanda Sam. You mean I was so babilis, I could handle to love. Go away to Bambola. I got come on, yes, Tanda Sam.